What happened while we were away, brought to you by Shutdown Day 2. President Trump posted this on Truth Social this morning. I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are political scams, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. Last night, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries went on CNN with Jake Tapper and maybe regretted it?
Because the continuing resolution just funds the government at the current level.
Well, actually, the continuing resolution that they have presented to the Congress is a partisan bill. House Democrats voted against it in March because it hurt veterans, hurt seniors, hurt children, hurt child care affordability, hurt housing affordability, and hurt health care, which is why we opposed it.
You're saying that Chuck Schumer then voted for a Republican partisan bill because he voted for that. So did 9 other Democrats in the March.
J.D. Vance.
Why has Chuck Schumer changed his stance?
You know, that's a good question. Actually, it's a very tough question. Asking me to get in the head of Chuck Schumer is not a place I particularly want to be.
On the topic of sombreros,
I mean, I'll tell Hakeem Jeffries right now, I make this solemn promise to you that if you help us reopen the government, the sombrero memes will stop.
Moving on, in Memphis, Tennessee, federal help is on the way to clean up the streets of one of the most dangerous cities in America. Here's White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller.
All we ask from you is to show up at roll call every single night with your brothers and sisters in the federal government and to go out and get the criminals off the street. And if you do that, I pledge to you, we will liberate this city from the criminal element that has plagued it for generations. This is not just a strategy shift. This is an attitude shift. We are not going to live in an environment anywhere where there is a street that belongs to a criminal, where there is a neighborhood that belongs to a gang, where there is any physical space anywhere that belongs to anyone other than the law-abiding citizens and families of Memphis. The idea that there is a square inch of block in this city where a citizen doesn't feel safe is unacceptable. This is Memphis, this is the United States of America, and all that bullshit is done. It's over, it's finished.
Video has emerged of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas's comments about judicial precedent that we discussed in passing on Monday. Thomas is right on the money, as you'd expect.
I don't think that I have the gospel, and I don't think that any of these cases that have been decided are the gospel. And I do give respect to precedent, but the precedent should be respectful of our legal tradition and our country and our laws, and be based on something, not just something that somebody dreamt up and others went along with. You've got. Let's just take, for example, I think, do you think that Plessy was right? That was a precedent for almost 7 decades? Right. Or do you think you should have just followed it because it was already decided? Or do you think it somehow violates, it's so wrong that it needs to go?
Pope Francis's, yes, I said Pope Francis. Pope Francis's no good, very bad week continues.
I would now like to invite you to stand for the blessing of the waters.
And that's Pope Francis not blessing immigration and customs enforcement, but a literal chunk of ice surrounded by global warming commies for reasons. And finally, check out this Portland Antifa stooge who a couple of nights ago aggressively approached federal troops outside of federal property. For those of you who couldn't hear, this idiot says, quote, "Don't bleeping touch me, bleep. I'll bleeping take you out." Well, last night that Antifa stooge got arrested after making trouble around federal property again. Look at them shaking like a dog who knows he's in trouble. Our opponents are gay, retarded, infertile, and will shake like they haven't defecated in 7 days when they're finally caught. And that's what happened while we were away.